Ford is struggling to sell their cars, and they're not making profits like they used to anymore. So now they're practically giving them away for a penny. Big giant trucks and sleek EVs like the Mach-E have dropped their prices significantly. At first glance, this might seem like a win for consumers, but a closer look reveals a deeper strategy. And to be honest with you, if you don't understand what is happening, you will fall for it eventually. Because these things are starting to have a domino effect, which is disastrous. Let me explain. What is exactly happening? These price reductions are tactical moves in response to sluggish sales. Initially, Ford had taken a different tactic, raising prices to supposedly enhance accessibility and refine their market approach. However, the current consumer interest forced a quick reversal to reignite buyer enthusiasm. But why aren't people buying Ford cars? I mean, rows upon rows of Ford cars, even F-150 pickups, creating a metallic cityscape at dealerships just sitting there isn't normal. Never before have we witnessed such a spectacle unfold. The assembly of hundreds, possibly thousands of both F-150 and F-150 Lightning pickups at Ford's expansive Dearborn test track. Ford remains tight-lipped about this unusual stockpile. They vaguely mention that these trucks are undergoing quality control tests, but it begs the question, shouldn't these rigorous assessments occur at the factory before these vehicles roll off the production line? This concern is valid, right? Particularly in light of Ford's recent history with recalls. Having topped the nation's recall charts for 3 consecutive years, 2024 appears to be following a similar trajectory. This unconventional approach challenges traditional manufacturing norms. Rather than prioritizing meticulous quality checks throughout production, Ford seems to favor rapid mass production with post-production quality adjustments. While this method may aim to meet soaring market demand swiftly, it leaves customers questioning the initial reliability and quality tests their new trucks undergo before hitting the roads. From an industry standpoint, such practices risk compromising Ford's long-standing reputation for reliability and craftsmanship, if that is still something they're known for. Every manufacturer faces hurdles, but how Ford navigates this pivotal phase will undoubtedly shape consumer confidence and market perception moving forward. So to answer your question, let me ask you another one. Who in their right mind would buy these things? I mean, have you seen what they did with the Bronco? These SUVs had a real problem, and at the center of the issue lies a concerning gas leak problem that poses serious safety risks. So recently, Ford made a recall of 43,000 units. And now you might wonder, so Ford's facing a challenge, what's the fuss about? Well, let me break it down for you. The issue. The exact problem with the Bronco revolves around faulty fuel injectors, which have shown a tendency to develop leaks. When gasoline leaks and meets the hot surfaces of the engine, it creates a significant fire hazard. You don't have to be a car expert to understand why that's a major concern. But rather than opting for a more definitive fix like replacing the defective injectors, Ford has chosen a different route. Their proposed solution involves fitting a tube to redirect leaked fuel away from the hot engine components and onto the ground. And it might sound like a creative approach, right? Well, not exactly. While the temporary fix might prevent immediate fire risks, it opens the door to other potential hazards, like sudden slowdowns or even stalling on the freeway. Not exactly the smooth ride you'd expect, right? By simply diverting the leaked fuel and deactivating the high-pressure fuel pump, Ford appears to be masking the issue rather than fully resolving it. And it's not like Ford hasn't had its fair share of quality control issues in the past. They've had a rocky road with manufacturing problems, and this latest recall isn't doing them any favors in rebuilding consumer trust. Now you might be wondering, how does all this affect me as a consumer or investor? Well, folks, it's about looking at the bigger picture. Ford and many more companies, like GM, are facing these brand perception issues. The major difference is that GM is at least profiting big time with their overpriced trucks and SUVs. They seem to have a bit more control over there, and I'm not talking about the EVs, that's a different story. GM, Ford, and most EV manufacturers like Fisker, Canoo, and Workhorse have encountered their own bumps in the road, with Fisker alone facing a whopping 40,000 order cancellations. Whether you're a consumer making purchasing decisions or an investor eyeing potential returns, these things are crucial. So I started analyzing all the data available, but when you start to look at the numbers, it gets a little confusing. Because numbers don't lie. In 2023, Ford marked a significant milestone for the company, witnessing a remarkable 7.1% surge in overall sales. This surge propelled Ford's truck sales beyond the million-unit mark, showcasing a staggering 13% increase from previous figures. However, there's an intriguing paradox. Despite expanding their sales volume significantly, Ford's market share contracted to 13% by the end of the year. What does it mean? To grasp this phenomenon fully, we need to delve into the complexities of the automotive industry. Market share isn't just about sales volume, it's also about how a company's performance compares to its competitors. While Ford saw a robust growth in absolute terms, changes in competitive landscapes may have caused their relative market share to dip slightly. But this still doesn't explain how they made more sales, right? There must be a secret. And there is. Once you know what it is, it will blow your mind. You see, that 7.1% spike in sales came from one strategy that Ford is implementing, resurrected from their playbook, the time-honored dealer incentive program known as stair steps. This program operates on a simple principle. The more trucks dealerships sell, the greater the rewards and incentives they reap. Ford is enticing dealerships with substantial rewards for every 2023 F-150 they manage to sell. And if these dealerships exceed specific sales targets, those rewards will become even more enticing and juicy than ever. It's no wonder that dealerships are hustling to move these trucks swiftly. With such lucrative incentives at stake, the sales momentum kicks into overdrive. And when the pressure to sell intensifies, strategies can sometimes verge on, shall we say, a slippery slope. According to first-hand accounts from dealers themselves, these incentive-driven strategies often prioritize hitting sales quotas over ensuring customer satisfaction. It's a situation where closing the deal takes precedent, potentially leaving customers feeling less than satisfied with their overall purchase experience. But who emerges unscathed from all this? You guessed it, dealerships. I'm not painting all dealerships with the same broad stroke, but there are certainly those among them who prioritize their profit margins over ensuring customer satisfaction. For these dealerships, it often comes down to the size of their commission checks rather than fostering trust and delivering quality service to customers. That is why some critics have even raised ethical concerns about these practices. However, the reality is more nuanced and intricate than initial perceptions might suggest. And you don't have to be a genius to know how this will all end. Every choice made today sends ripples that will inevitably reach us. But it's not just us. Ford itself stands to face the consequences. The decisions made now could significantly shape their reputation and long-term relationships with customers. So let's dissect what that means for you. The aftermath. As of right now, Ford is losing around $36,000 on each EV sold in the third quarter of 2023, as highlighted by Autopian. So, while dealerships are ramping up their EV offerings, Ford is taking a substantial hit. In the previous year alone, the company absorbed a staggering $4.7 billion loss in pursuit of its electric dreams. And brace yourselves, folks, because this year's projection points to an even steeper decline, anticipated at $5.5 billion down the drain. It's a clear reminder that you can't keep pouring money into a venture and expecting miracles overnight. Their own strategy is coming around to bite them, but despite these financial setbacks, Ford remains resolute in its commitment to electrification. The company strategically directs its investments towards fortifying its electric vehicle lineup. And that raises a question: why are they doing this if they're not making money? Well, here is where things get a little complicated, and it has a lot to do with the softwares they equipped all their new cars with. And here is how they do it. The latest wave of vehicles from heavyweights like Ford, Chrysler, Subaru, and Mercedes-Benz is ushering in a new era with their advanced proprietary software, sparking a heated debate over the rights to vehicle repairs. This isn't just about lines of code, it's a strategic maneuver that's firmly placing dealerships in the driver's seat. It means your car's repairs are practically tethered to dealership services, turning even routine maintenance into a pilgrimage to authorized service centers. Independent mechanics? They're hitting a brick wall, locked out of crucial software unless they cough up some serious cash. And guess who's left footing the bill for these added expenses? You got it. Here's you. With this technology woven deep into the vehicle systems, automakers aren't merely nudging, they're actively steering customers towards their exclusive service networks. The implications are fewer repair choices, lighter wallets, and diminished competition. Independent mechanics, known for their competitive pricing and personalized service, now face formidable obstacles in acquiring the tools and diagnostic software essential for comprehensive repairs. Without access to manufacturer-specific data and updates, their ability to offer diverse service options is uncertain, leaving them with a tough choice of adapting or losing out on business. And here is the thing, proprietary systems in today's vehicles are tightly controlled by automakers, meaning any tweaks or updates must exclusively come from the company that owns the underlying code. This setup introduces considerable friction, especially when trying to integrate with open-source alternatives that thrive on transparency and collaborative development. You see, when we're talking about big companies losing money, you better believe they're going to make it back one way or another. Sure, Ford lost and still is losing a lot of money, but this financial strain prompts automakers to intensify their control over repair processes as a strategic response. And beyond financial pressures, these companies assert dominance by monopolizing repair services and dictating pricing terms. With vehicles equipped with intricate, high-tech components requiring specialized servicing, automakers justify premium pricing for maintenance. Their proprietary software programs and unique parts reinforce the perception of their vehicles as robust, versatile workhorses worth their premium price tags. But the implications extend beyond immediate financial concerns, because it's not just Ford feeling the heat, especially in the EV segment. Even Tesla, the pioneers of electric vehicles, are facing some serious hurdles. So what is the solution? Cutting prices left, right, and center because they're swamped with unsold inventory. Take the Model Y for example. They're knocking off a cool $7,500 from the sticker price, no questions asked. And get this, that's not even considering any potential tax credits. But how are these companies doing this? Are these cuts happening at the expense of quality? There's a huge problem that these companies might be skimping on some features to save money, which could lead to problems down the line. And ultimately, people will stop buying them totally, which leads to them doing the same thing again and again, creating a loop. But there is another huge thing you need to consider: insurance. As it turns out, a lot of EVs, even the ones with just a bit of damage, are being written off as total losses by insurance companies. Why? Well, it's because nobody really knows how to fix them properly. The repair estimates are through the roof. We're talking about prices that are almost the same as the car itself. So instead of getting stuck thinking and wondering if they can fix this or not, insurance companies are just writing the whole thing off. You buy a Tesla, it gets in an accident, and boom! The insurance company decides it's not worth the trouble and declares it a total loss. But here's the kicker: they're not giving you enough money for that payout to buy another Tesla. Insurance companies covering these Tesla models, even the low-mileage ones, look at the repair estimates and lose their minds. It's not worth the hassle for them. And here is where things start to click together, so watch carefully. Let's just use Tesla as an example, because a lot of big companies, including Ford, are looking at and examining their strategy to apply it to their cars. And Tesla's problem starts with the very design and technology that makes Tesla so appealing. These cars are packed with advanced features, electronics, and materials that make them hard to repair. Remember the softwares we were talking about? Well, Tesla's manufacturing uses proprietary technology and materials that aren't easy to replicate or fix without specialized knowledge and equipment. For instance, Tesla bodies combine aluminium and high-strength steel, requiring specific repair techniques. Traditional body shops often lack the training or tools to handle these materials correctly. Then there's the parts issue. Tesla parts aren't as available as those for conventional vehicles. This scarcity drives repair costs up. Parts often need to be ordered directly from Tesla, leading to long waits and higher prices. Plus, labor costs for repairing a Tesla are higher because technicians need special training for these complex systems. The battery systems, in particular, are very sophisticated and sensitive. Damage to the battery pack can be expensive and complicated to fix, often leading to a decision to write the vehicle off entirely. Insurance companies aim to minimize risk and cost. When they see repair bills reaching $50,000 or more, they decide it's more economical to write off the car as a total loss instead of investing in expensive repairs. It's not just a simple matter of taking a vehicle to the shop and having it fixed in a few days or even weeks. No, we're talking about significant delays, upwards of 3 months or more. And you know what that means. The insurance companies are on the hook for providing a rental car to the owner as long as their car is out of commission. Imagine the costs accumulating over 3 months or more. The expense of a rental car can quickly add up, and when multiplied across numerous claims, it becomes a significant financial burden for insurers. So this approach protects their financial interests, but leaves Tesla owners in a tough spot. For you, it's a headache because dealing with a total loss can be time-consuming and stressful. Negotiating with the insurance company for a fair payout, finding a replacement vehicle, and handling the logistics of disposing of a totaled car can take significant time and effort. On top of that, when your Tesla is declared a total loss, the insurance payout might not be enough to buy a new or equivalent vehicle. This is problematic because Teslas hold their value well, making them expensive compared to other cars. So the payout might only cover a fraction of a new Tesla's cost, leaving owners to cover the rest out of pocket. Moreover, the total loss declaration impacts your insurance premiums and future coverage. After your Tesla is written off, getting comprehensive coverage for your next vehicle at a reasonable price might be challenging. Insurance companies may view you as a higher risk, leading to increased premiums. But again, it's not just Tesla. Every EV company is facing the same thing. This new approach of making their cars hard and sophisticated to repair is causing a lot of problems. But Tesla has been working to address these issues. They've expanded their service centers and mobile repair units, aiming for quicker, more convenient repair options. This will expand options for owners and could reduce repair costs through competition. And although they have a long way to go, we still should appreciate these types of efforts because there are some companies that are not backing down from these strategies. They're relentless when it comes to money, and they won't hesitate to do whatever it takes. If dominating the market translates to profit, they're right there leading the charge. It's not that the government is inactive, it's just that these companies are experts at navigating and combating regulations. And here is how. Companies versus policies. There is something called right-to-repair laws that aim to give drivers and independent repair shops more control over car repairs by providing access to tools and information typically guarded by manufacturers. Imagine a trusted local garage with all the knowledge and tools to fix your car, eliminating the need for expensive dealership visits. Massachusetts has already passed a law requiring cars to have a standardized data platform that independent shops can use for repairs with your permission. This challenges the status quo, where manufacturers hold all the repair information. So automakers like Ford argue these laws conflict with federal regulations and could jeopardize safety and cybersecurity. They even proposed their own laws and try to block the Massachusetts law. This right-to-repair debate centers on whether consumers get more repair options or if automakers maintain control over repairs. While open-source software can offer faster development, better security and cost savings, proprietary software relies on exclusivity and control for its value. In my opinion, they'll never let this opportunity get away from them. How else would they have their money back? But what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.